Hey, Kruhi here. Today's art is the inking process for what I think is a super fun ram skull and some peonies, or my attempt at them. I'm not exactly sure what they are now after I got my hands on them. You know how it goes. You get a reference image of some flowers, you veer from the path, and you end up entirely outside of reality. Oh well, still fun. I want to take a second to say that the contest for free stickers is still running till the end of the month, so if you want to enter to win, please follow the link in the description for further details. Let's start today's video with the usual warning from the void. I am not and never have been an expert in anything. Everything I'll be talking about is based on my thoughts and opinions and current knowledge. You are free to agree or disagree and comment about your own thoughts on the matter, but nothing I say here is meant to harm or belittle anyone. So, I'm sitting here wondering what to say, what to do, where my inspiration is, because inspiration for creativity is hard. Let's face it. It's a fickle little spark you can never catch. You simply have to follow. Sometimes it's easy, like someone just tossed a log on a fire, sending sparks every which way. We just have to pick one if indecision isn't a crippling monster all on its own. But other times, the fire has burned down and we're left with what remains, this beautiful night sky of ashen embers that light up only when fed by the brush of air. So what do you do then, when the inspiration is run out and you don't know what to do? Well, there's always procrastination. That's my fun and oh-so-efficient go-to, or you can toss a log on those ashes and see what happens. Sorry if none of this metaphorical bull is relatable to any of you out there who haven't tended to a dying campfire, but yeah, okay. Poetic, contrived drivel aside, what the heck does it mean to toss a log on the fire? Metaphorically speaking, of course. Right now, the Pacific Northwest is seeing some of the worst fires in over 10 years, so I don't want to see any confusion over here. But really, what is it? How does it help? And the answer isn't simple, but a good place to start is to do what makes us happy. Sometimes a lack of inspiration comes from burnout, so doing what makes us happy can offer a rest to the mind that's going to force a break if you don't give it one. Or maybe it's not burnout, maybe it's simply a lack of inspiration from someplace else. Well, that's fine too. Doing what we love feeds the part of our brain that engages creativity. It stems from our interests. Someone who feels nothing for magical girls and everything they stand for likely isn't gonna go around drawing them, because in order to feel inspiration, we've got to at least feel some sort of way about a topic, with stipulations, of course. Creativity is fueled by emotions, feelings, and some sort of magic that exists outside the realm of space and time. It can strike at any moment, whenever it wants, even if the timing isn't convenient to us, the high-tech space monkeys who are at its beck and call. I think it's important to give ourselves a bit of a break. I hear all the time artist advice that people should finish their sketches or force their way through something, but ultimately, I think that's terrible advice. If an artist starts on a sketch and doesn't like how it's going, the thing is, it's just a sketch. Start a new one and include what you learned from the mistakes of the old one and why you didn't like it. If an artist starts on a project and loses steam quickly, well, maybe they didn't actually like the subject or the idea or the interpretation as much as they initially thought. Moving on and doing something else that allows us to grow is just so much better than struggling with something that's going to leave us frustrated and tired with nothing to show for it. I can't help but think of the number of times a draft has been completely rewritten, or plots revised, or original manuscripts lost, only for the end result to be better than it ever would have been originally. Creativity, inspiration, it's a process. It's hard. There's no reason for us to beat ourselves up when a blank page has yet to reveal what it wants to be. If we don't have it within us to force it and take on the mammoth opponent of seeing past the endless void of blank space and into wherever it is that ideas come from, then that's okay. But if someone wants to give it a try, that's okay too. So let's go over some ways that we can spark creativity. So number one would be to find a subject around your environment. Any subject. It doesn't matter what it is. The lamp in your room, a fan, a pen, the pellets of cat food that your cat has for some reason spread across the floor in hopes your bare feet will find them lodged into your flesh like a child's Legos. You know, a simple subject, and create the world around them. This idea of finding a simple subject to focus your creativity on is often referred to as jolt thinking. It's based on the idea that creativity is hindered by too much freedom, and once given a direction, it can flourish as it's concentrated in one place. So number 2 would be to find inspiration in the creativity of others. Now, I'm not telling anyone to go out there and steal art or ideas or what have you. We're not tracing and we're not being total buttholes, but if a picture of a doll that your favorite artist posted on social media makes you want to draw a doll of your own, well, then by all means take that idea and run with it. Make it your own. There are thousands of pictures and drawings and stories about dolls out there, but only the ones that you created are yours, and because of that, they're special. And it can only come from you. This sort of feels a lot like point 1, but instead of finding a simple subject, it's allowing yourself to be swayed and fueled by the amazing things that others have done, kind of like jump-starting your car. And since I want to keep things short today, I'm just going to say one last big point before going into a couple of little ones. But the third point is stop worrying about taking risks. It can be so hard to just jump into an idea, but try not to overthink it too much. If people never take risks, we'd be a pretty stagnant world. Technology would never advance, beautiful artworks would never get made, and we'd just be standing there afraid to do anything. When you have an idea that strikes you, follow it. Just see where it goes. If it gets messed up, it's easy to start over with a new perspective on the same idea. And before I go, I just want to include that your brain is a muscle. Well, actually, technically it's an organ, but like a muscle, if we don't exercise them, they atrophy. Creating comes from the mind, so it's important to always be questioning, thinking, learning, and surprisingly, creativity will come more naturally. Don't let fear of the unknown take away your artistic confidence, because you're doing your best, and that's all that really matters. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. If you haven't, I highly recommend subscribing and ringing that notification bell, but I'm biased. It really helps my channel out, and please share your thoughts in the comments, as I love to hear from you and I read each and every one. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye!